What's up, guys? This is day 3 of the Grand Prix challenge. You'll see for this one we're going to have Fusion 4, Hellfire 3. I haven't set this up yet, so let me just jump in here real quick. We'll do Fusion 4. It was Hellfire 3. I also believe it was Bigfoot 5. I can see the Mako up there. Pretty sure it's a Mako 8. So we'll switch that. And then Sparrow 10 I can see. So we'll use a Max Sparrow today. And then Yellow Jacket 6, Scarab 7. A very unique bag. This is the Guide for Ultimate Golf Ring app, which is free to download in the Android and iOS stores. It'll be the best way for you guys to hone in on these calculations. And we're just going to blast this one down. Maybe use a power booster pin on this hole. The advantage of using a pin would be in the event that we can't get up here to where we want. Let's just see what it looks like. This looks pretty good. In fact, you could even lay back because you probably might not want to bring Mako into this hole. We're going to have to use Mako now, blasting this off the tee. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't want to shoot with Mako, you'll have to lay back. We're going to have to shoot with Mako. Utilize those practice attempts if you guys want to hone in on these things a little bit more. These should all be makeable shots, and you can see we were very close to the max line, so I'm just going to go very close to the max ring adjustment. And let's just see how well this Mako rolls out. All in all, that looks real close. We actually made it. So there you can see anything is going to be possible, even with these weak clubs. Always be trying to make these because absolutely you can make all of these holes. So that should be your goal, is giving all of these the best effort you can. And hole number, this looks like hole 8. We might have to go Mako again. One thing I might want to do here is just kind of figure out what my span is with this Mako. That's 10. This is 20. This is 28. 28 rings. 28 rings. Span. And we were how many was the hole where we want to set up? 10. Is that 15 right here? Maybe a few more. This is 17, 18, 17, 18 for max. Somewhere in there. Usually I'll try to use some right break on this. Kind of straighten out the break of the natural break of the green. This was 17, 18 rings for max, somewhere in there. That's exactly where we'll put it. It's saying 3-2 for our ring adjustments. You can see what my ball guide looks like, how short we are. 3-2. How cool would it be to make this one too? We already made Mako on the last hole. So coming in pretty good. Oh, just it hopped very left. So a lot of slope here. It looked, exactly where I set up to land it. It just has more slope than I realized. So with that missing guide, it's a little bit hard to see. You can utilize a little bit more right spin if you want to try to straighten that out. The right spin can try to counter it because it looked like a pretty solid ring adjustment. So best of luck on that hole, guys. And let's take a look at this one coming up. This is hole 10 at Banff. Not sure if we have ring span for this. We do not. So let me just go ahead and sync that up real quick. That's 10 rings. There's 12 rings. Just boost this number up just a tad. You'll see, otherwise they're going to be at default 10. So anytime you see 10, you know that's just a default. That means it's never been calibrated. So you guys will have to do that yourselves. This is about 10 rings for max here, which is close to the min number. We're going to come up just a little bit from that, maybe 9 rings for max, give or take. This one shouldn't break very much. Usually comes in pretty straight. So we're going to, with that in mind, we're going to keep this alignment. And this was probably, 9 rings for max, somewhere in there. 4023. 2-3. You can also see that we're about a 1.75 or so rings from 1.75 from the pin. What is this? 2-3 it's saying? I'm just going to utilize the correct zoom here. So you can see that's what I'm doing here is I'm just pulling to get this last ring synced up the best that I can. Somewhere right around here. And then 236, that looks pretty spot on. So let's give this a whirl, see what it looks like. I'd imagine, this is a very good opportunity. Hopefully you guys can make this one. Oh my goodness. So right on line, just comes up a little bit short. Be a little bit more aggressive with that ball guide. Very, very makeable wind angle and everything. So good opportunity for you to get that ace. Best of luck there, guys. And let's take a look at the next one coming up. This appears to be hole 11. Very interesting with a nice wind angle too. Good opportunity potentially for you to try blasting this. So I'll do this with no pin. So then that way, that'll give you guys an idea. Should you put a pin on this? Yes or no? So I'll do the no pin. 15 miles per hour, saying about 12 rings. You can also see that I'm putting that left spin on because I want to try to keep this going up the fairway. So maybe somewhere right around there. That was like one pull, 12 rings. Then we're just going to blast this thing all the way straight up. Looks pretty good. Let's just see how far this rolls out. My guesstimate tells me that, I should probably use top spin, try to get this up on the surface. If I get this up on the putting surface, I'm going to get extra tiebreaker points. Also, I'm not going to have to worry about, potentially slamming the pin too much with this wedge. So it's going to make for a little bit easier hole out situation. So you're going to see I'm just going to put this ball guide just a little bit short, right in front of the hole. It shouldn't be affected by the wind. And there you can see we are able to make it. However, we're not going to get those extra tiebreaker points. So maybe a driver wood pin there. Good way for you to get that up on the putting surface. You can try to dial it in. Utilizing some of those practice attempts, you're really going to be able to get a very good possible hole out opportunity for that one. So best of luck there, guys. And let's take a look at this next one coming up. I'm just going to blast this up here. If you prefer laying back to specific distances, feel free to do so. You can dial in pretty much any of these clubs. It doesn't matter if it's short iron, long iron. Some people are long iron players. Of course, you only have a Bigfoot 5 if you're doing it. So it's Bigfoot 5 or it's Mako 8. So it's kind of choose what you'd rather do. And this is going to be, 5 rings for max, 7 rings for max. This is also going to break very hard to the left. It's like 8 rings for max. We're just going to keep that ball guide like that because there is a huge hill here. 8 rings for max. See if I can restore this real quick. Yeah, so sorry guys that this keeps happening. It's just kind of the subscription version that I live in. Being in free and being being in them at the same exact time, free and paid version. Sometimes it just kicks me off. So that's 351. 351. So somewhere, I'm just going to estimate this. You know, you guys can try dialing it in a little bit more than me if you'd like. It's like right on 3.5. Let's just see what this rollout looks like. That's the biggest thing that I was wondering. Was how much is this going to roll out? You can see all that looks real good. Even the rollout looks good. You can see how smooth it just kind of rolls up the hill. So very good opportunity for you guys to make that one as well. So do your best to try to make that one this it's definitely going to be gettable. All of these, you know, you could put up a real nasty number for this setup. All of these holes are very, very gettable. This is probably what, the hardest one. So there's only one hard shot. I'm just going to blast this over the tree. Is this going to be another Mako, or are we going to be Bigfoot distance? Keep in mind I just blasted it, so it looks like it's probably going to be Bigfoot. So we'll get to hit a Bigfoot today. First time for that. There's Max Club. There's 5 from Max. There's 10 from, it's almost 10. Maybe 9 rings. You can maybe pull the fault down to 8 or 9, somewhere in there. 3.6. This one breaks pretty hard to the right, so I'm going to try to counter that with some left spin. And this is how far from? Right around 5 rings for Max. There's a huge downslope, so I'm going to keep this well short. You can see, like I mentioned, this is probably what, 5 rings for Max, give or take. We'll just come up here, 168. So 168 here on the adjustment. We'll try to get that zoom the correct amount so we can just kind of line this up. So 168, 17, somewhere in there. And here it comes. Let's see how we did. Looks pretty spot on. It's landing very good. Oh man, I can't believe it didn't take any break whatsoever. It's because of that counter spin I had, plus the wind angle. So you won't need to, as you can see, you won't have to play quite nearly as much as I did. Maybe 1 bar of left spin, for example, because you could see that didn't want to try to straighten out at all. It kind of just kept drifting just a little bit more left. But all in all, pretty good score there, 9 under. Very good opportunity for you to shoot 12, 13. So do take your time, try the best that you can, try to get those dialed. You know, utilize some practice if you have to. Very good opportunity for you guys to put up a good number on this setup. So best of luck there. I'll see you guys on next ones coming up.